Hello everyone, this is Vi. Today we're checking out Forest Mirror Keep. This is a game I've not played before. We're going to give it a playtest and see if we can give some useful feedback. I've got the game page open right here. This is one of these where it's going to be embedded in the page so we can look at it together, I suppose. It says this part of the continent hasn't been settled in ages. The old forest is dark and full of ruins. Right mouse button, click and drag to move camera. Mouse wheel is zoom in and out. Left mouse button, click to examine a tile. The game is a work in progress, so all art is unfinished. I'm going to add more levels, more tiles. Suggest listening to Field Notes 2 while you play. If you like it, please leave a rating. And the game source code is here if you want to play around with the editor. The sound effects are missing because they're paid assets. Sorry. Alright, so if anyone wants to check this out, there'll be a link in the description of this video. But I guess we're just going to go ahead and click on Run Game. We got this little... Oh, alright, so it got bigger. That's interesting. Alright. Forest Keep Mirror. Did I say that in the wrong order before? I think I said Forest Mirror Keep. Sorry about that. So let's go ahead and see if... Okay, we're already kind of in full screen mode here, so that's a little awkward. I wonder, is this working properly? Let me see... Alright. I don't know. This doesn't seem to get us any bigger for some reason. I keep clicking on this and it's not doing anything else. I guess we got this little kind of small window here. This is a little bit unfortunate. Is it really... I feel like this should work. I don't know why it's not going into full screen here. But I suppose we'll just play it as is. We got new game and levels here. Let's go ahead and click on new game. Level 1 house. Nobody settled this part of the continent for ages. The reinforcements will be here in a few days, but we need shelter in the meantime. Build 1 house. Understood. Alright, so we got day 1. We got some X's up here. I don't know what that means. We got pause and sleep. If I hit escape, that also does the pause here. Sleep is, I don't know, maybe it's just like let the time pass, I guess. I'm assuming this is not a real time in any way. I don't see anything kind of suggesting that it's progressing. This definitely looks to me like it's meant to be in full screen though. It's really... I wonder if there's some way I can like reload the page and get this to work or something. I don't know why it says... Okay. Alright, we figured it out. Yeah, so that's a little weird, but for whatever reason, if you have the web page in full screen with like the F11 key, in Chrome at least, it kind of prevented that from working, which is really weird. So I had to like go out of full screen mode and then reload the page and then click on the little thing, and now it works. Okay, alright, let's try this again. So build 1 house, understood. Yeah, it looks a lot better now. Alright, so we got cards down here, it looks like. Cut reusable, cut the specified board tile, gain yielded resources if cuttable, demolish structures to their base tile. Fix a structure to reset decay. New structures and nature tiles can't be repaired. So these both say reusable. This also demolishes structures, I guess, if there are any structures on the tile there. Garden provides food. Fragile. Build on dirt. I assume all of this is grass. I don't know why some of these tiles are lighter and some are darker. But it says dirt, so that makes me think like something that doesn't have grass on it. I'm not sure if that's what that means or not. Build something on it, build on dirt. Live here, work elsewhere. Repairs the oldest neighbor structure. Interesting. The oldest neighbor structure. So when it says neighbor structure, like I don't know what that means exactly. Does it mean like a directly adjacent structure, or is it something within an area, or, you know, it'd be nice to know these kind of details. It seems like a functional sort of thing that the player ought to know here. A build on foundation needs a neighboring garden. Um, right, so both of these say build on dirt, and this says build on foundation, which is this, of course. So I'm wondering maybe that the grass counts as dirt. It's not really obvious either way, but I'm going to try to go ahead and do it. It just says to build a house, so I think that this is fine. I don't know if I should, I don't know if it matters where I put this at this point. Meadow. Oh, okay, so I think I clicked on, okay, so I clicked on this and then clicked on here. Apparently this is like a click and drag. So it wasn't immediately obvious, but I guess that's not too hard to figure out. Pine seeds lurk just under the surface, cuttable to dirt. Now that makes sense. Okay. So, oh, okay. So I tried to do that again. For whatever reason, it's just intuitive for me to like go down here and click once and then click here instead of the click and drag. I wonder maybe you might have like, if you have a, I mean, naturally you probably will have a settings menu at some point, so that might be something you could consider making a setting, is to have it so you could just do it the way I've been trying to do it instead of the click and drag. But yeah, it feels more intuitive for me for whatever reason to do it that way. Now, okay, so there's an X up here. So I think you can make this feedback a little bit better, but one of the things I was wondering is like, is there some kind of cost associated with these cards? These two have a, whatever this is with a 1 next to it, which I guess up here that might be what this is. It looks like a little stone, which is 0. You know, none of this has been explained at this point. I don't know what clicking up here does. Okay, that's just this again. So it might help to have a little bit more explanation here and there, but you know, it's not that hard to figure out, I guess. But yeah, you do have to be a little careful because you can't just rely on the fact that every player is going to you know, have a certain level of intelligence or whatever. In any case, yeah, so I think that these ones, even if they don't have like this, which I assume is a cost, I think that the X marks up here count as like a time cost. That's what my assumption is. So I could probably only do 3 actions, then the day's going to pass, something to that effect. But yeah, I think like when I did this, I think this kind of appeared here, but it didn't really like advertise itself. So I think you could make a little bit flashier of sort of a visual feedback that this happened. You know, just some kind of animation. I mean, obviously this is going to happen a lot. This is going to be something the player's going to get really used to. But you know, maybe just have like some kind of animation like that. Maybe the little X starts out like really big and then like really quickly shrinks down, like it's kind of being slapped on top of this, so like a stamp or something. I don't know if that made sense, but you know, just something to make it obvious that something happened up here, so that the player can like, you know, for the new player in particular, that they can kind of realize immediately that something happened when they did this, that kind of thing. Let's go ahead and I guess we want to put a foundation here. Yeah, clicking and dragging is weird, but I guess we don't have the rock yet, so I presumably have to do this kind of thing. Now, somehow I got it so that this is attached to my cursor. I'm not currently holding the button down. So I guess there's some kind of little bug here. Oh, okay, just fiddling around. I did something there, but somehow I managed to get that attached when I wasn't holding the button down. But yeah, it definitely feels more awkward to me to click and drag. I'm not sure why exactly, but a supply of building material cuttable to meadow yields 2 stone. Interesting. Okay, so this goes down to the meadow, which is the green grass, I guess. This is a really tiny sort of aesthetic almost detail, but I think it might be nice if this little window thing had kind of a smoother transition, like when you go and like click between multiple tiles, it just kind of instantly sort of teleports over there. I don't know, maybe it's not even worth the effort, but I think it would just be kind of easier on the eyes if it did kind of like a really quick but a smoothly sort of interpolated motion or whatever. I think that'd be nice. So yeah, we got stones. I guess. So I had dirt before, which I don't know if the day goes by, does that just grow back over or something? Is that what happens? But yeah, okay. So the clicking and dragging, another thing, yeah. So it just grows back over when the day passes. That's interesting to know. All right. So there's all these little details, and currently the game doesn't really teach you any of this stuff. Like I said, it's not that hard to figure out, but it's hard to say like who might get confused and just not figure out this kind of thing. So I think it's just safer and a better idea overall to just, you know, briefly but effectively kind of actually explain things. um, but also, you know, being a game in development, a lot of times the tutorial stuff kind of gets saved until last anyway. So uh, yeah, so interesting. I guess there's no repercussions for like wasting time or anything at this point, so that's good. But yeah, so if I don't know how much this happens, but like if I want to do one action multiple times, it's also a little annoying to have to keep going back down to here and like keep kind of dragging it from here over and over again instead of just like um, you know, something like a city builder, for instance. Usually they, you know, they have different tools or whatever. Usually like you select one and then you can just kind of go in and click however many squares you need to in here and then like go back and select another tool, that kind of thing. It just occurs to me that that might feel comfier, but on the other hand, um, this game might not really work that way. I know, at least for right now, we only have like 3 actions per turn, so maybe that's not that big a deal, but you do have to kind of go down here a lot and kind of keep like moving the mouse. And I wonder how exhausting that might get over like the long term. So like you have to keep going down here and keep dragging stuff up from the bottom. Um, it might be interesting. I don't know. I don't know enough about the game, but I'm wondering if there might be more than 5 cards in the future. I was thinking maybe you could do something like, maybe you could press the number keys on the keyboard, like 1 through 5 to like select one of these, then you can click it in up here and that kind of thing. That would probably be really comfy, but uh, if this changes, like the number of cards you have changes a lot, that probably won't be possible anymore, and that's probably what's going to happen actually. So I should probably just do this instead of rambling. So I guess we have the stone. We just need to do this. Um, it's actually also, in my opinion, a little bit distracting just how much these move vertically when you're hovering down here, because it's like you kind of have to go back and forth between this area and down here, and this kind of just really intrudes on your working area up here. I think like more than necessary, almost. It's sort of a weird thing, but just kind of feels annoying, like especially if I just want to like if I'm just making little mouse movements, um, and I just like having to go down here, then it's like I have to make kind of like a dramatic mouse movement to get it off from there. Like maybe I just like accidentally go down there, or just, you know, whatever else, and it kind of makes the game feel in a really subtle way a little bit more exhausting than it needs to be. Like it's kind of requiring a lot of mouse movement that I don't really expect from this kind of game, I guess. Like kind of dramatic movements. Sort of a really subtle thing, but it might matter in the long term. I don't know if you can just kind of tweak some things, maybe move this. Oh, I forgot that apparently you can move this around, so I wasn't thinking about that. So I guess that's the thing, but maybe these don't need to go up quite as far as they do, that kind of thing. I'm not sure. There's might be some ways you could tweak things to make that a little cozier. Sorry for not like doing. Okay, I just built a garden for no reason. I wasn't thinking. I guess there's no purpose to cutting the grass, um, because it's just gonna grow back in, right? I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, it needs it. Okay, so I actually needed to do this. All right, these are all things I'm just figuring out slowly. So yeah, we got more cars down here already. Nobody's settled. It's part of the continent for ages. The reinforcements will be here in a few days, but we need a shelter in the meantime. Build one house, complete. Oh, okay. Took 4 days and 10 actions. Um, next level understood. All right, so I'm not sure if it's. I mean, yeah, I guess the player will just get used to the fact that this is just purely um, reiterating what the mission was, and they'll probably just skip over this in the future and not look at it. All right. Now okay, so I think after you build the house, you get like more build options. I think that's just sort of the like the tech tree kind of concept, which I think is what happened last time. I just got mildly confused because like I noticed at the end of that, like I got a new build option, but it just kind of didn't introduce what it was or anything. It just kind of put me to the next level, and now it's gone again. So it was a little weird, but it's not a big deal. Caravan snowed out at the pass. Doesn't look like a snowy area. I guess it's up in the mountains. We need to build a self-sustaining compound until they get here. At any point, survive a 20-day streak without taking actions. Oh, interesting. I don't know anything about how to do any of that, so that's kind of weird. That's an interesting mission to give the player without any knowledge of the functionality of these things. I guess we're just meant to learn through experimentation here. I presume that's kind of the idea. Yeah, so this is also annoying. Oof, that's quite annoying. So what I said before about like how kind of intrusive these things are, it seems to get worse when you're doing things like moving your view around, because you go down here. I'm still holding the right mouse button. It kind of just like grabs the control away from you. And again, because this kind of moves up so far, it's like all this area, my mouse is still not controlling the thing I was trying to move around. So it's like you have to almost just like wildly move the mouse to get it off of there again. So that could be pretty annoying. Interesting how this is working. If I try and go down here and click and drag, it does this kind of jump. I don't know, maybe this is a little buggy. Just a little bit of a bug or some such. It's kind of weird. Yeah, okay, let's ugh. It's a little hard in the eyes. Alright, any case, so what even is this? Don't let it turn into ruins, decay in 7 to ruins. So I guess I have to use the fix thing, or this will die. So that would be good to know. I could imagine somebody might just never actually stop and read this, because I didn't do that for the whole last turn, or last mission or whatever. So that would be something to be considerate about again. You should probably just take the time to just teach these little details. They're not like not hard to teach or anything. So I guess we want to go ahead and make a garden, and then I think I have no choice but to, well, I guess I can use fix if I have an extra thing. So I think that's just kind of free if you have the time. So I think that makes sense. I don't know where to put anything, but do this, I'll build a garden, and then so my belief is that if I cut the grass, it's just going to be wasted time, so I can use fix on you. It's too new to be repaired. Interesting. So you have to wait until it's at a certain something. What happened here? Is that a garden? Why do I feel like it looked different before? Provides food, fragile, decay, and 2 tomato. Oh, so lots of stuff decays. What the heck? So I have to use a lot of fixed things, apparently. Okay, I guess we just rest. Yeah, isn't it supposed to look like this? I don't know what happened here. Okay. So it does say pine seeds lurk just under the surface. So pine as in pine trees, I guess. Whoa, okay, we can zoom in and out. Forest, it hungers. That's creepy. I'm wondering about the pine seeds. Are you supposed to be able to harvest the seeds if you use the cut? So I don't think I've gotten any seeds. Alright. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll put a foundation. We'll put the house. Oh, I don't have the stone for the house. Well, that stinks. Well, I guess I have enough time I can do this. What? No. What exactly is going on here? Okay. Why does it still say dirt? It looks like there's like the edge of a foundation on there or something. I don't know what. Didn't I? Okay. A little confused about that. So I think what happened is I never actually got the stone. So when I cut the dirt, then I tried to drag the foundation, and then I thought it built, but it just didn't because I didn't have the stone. And then I had to cut the stone, and then I had to do the foundation. So that ended up being 3 turns. So I just didn't realize that I didn't have the appropriate materials. So that's something that's really important to have the appropriate feedback, right? So you need to make it really obvious to the player that they tried to do something that they didn't have the resources for, so they don't get mind boggled like I just did. Um, excuse me. So yeah, that would be nice. And I guess decay and 0, so we have to fix this or it's gonna die. It still says oh, okay, so this doesn't update immediately. You probably want that to happen. You have to like click off it and click onto it again. But we want to put the house here. Now we can do Mason. Repairs the 2 oldest networked stone structures. Build on foundation. Now this says networked. So we had neighboring and now we have networked. I don't know what these mean. Claims 1 house. Unlocked by building a house. So I guess we need like 1 house. Like a house is sort of like a resource generator for like workers or whatever. Something to that effect. That seems to be what this means. Now what are these repair icons when I click on the house? Repairs the oldest neighbor structure. Wait, now I had to manually repair the garden. Now I'm not sure how this works. So does this only repair them when they like they run out of decay or something? Like when does the repair happen? I don't know how this works. Because you saw how I manually repaired this. I didn't realize that this supposedly, or I guess it's only the oldest one. So it doesn't say more than one. It says only. It seems to suggest only one. So I guess it's only repairing this one. And is this number here, is that the age? But the house and the garden should have different ages, shouldn't they? So yeah, I don't know what this is. Yeah, it's all a bit confusing, but I guess if this only repairs 1 neighbor structure, then I don't know why this has like icons over both of these. A little confusing. And I just don't know exactly how this works in general, but I can kind of see that because we're supposed to build something that's self-sustaining, that we can build these structures that repair other structures around them, so I don't have to intervene with these. So this one says it will repair the 2 oldest stone structures, so I assume that this is stone, of course. I don't have any reason to believe that the house is stone. It doesn't look like stone, but there's also not, from what I can see, any indication of whether a structure is stone or not, so that would be nice to have. I believe the house took a stone material, well, the foundation took 1, and I believe the house also took 1 stone to build, so that might also suggest to the player that it's a quote-unquote stone structure. Not sure about that, but yeah, so another thing I want to mention, so if the house kind of provides a resource, which is sort of the workers or whatever, the people who live here, which is apparently claimed by the Mason, you probably want to put that in the UI, like up here or something, or I don't know if it counts as the same type of resource as the stone. Maybe it's some other different type of resource, but either way, it would seem to make sense that if we have a resource, then I'd want to see it in the HUD somewhere, you know, rather than like have to look in like, I don't know, just like count the number of houses are in the settlement or something. That would be kind of awkward, I guess. Interestingly, I can't build another house currently. I'm not sure if that will change in the future. I don't really know. Is this to build this on a foundation? I only have the ability to... Oldest neighbor structure. Only have the ability to do one more action, so I just repaired that. This... I saw repaired on both the keep and the garden. And the little tiny little pop-up text there, I'm not sure what the deal is there. Decay and forward to ruins on this thing. Yeah, so I'm not sure why it showed like 2 things being repaired. We've got house again for some reason. I think I had 1 stone before. Is that true? Did something consume that? I don't really know. So I've got stone. I need to build a foundation, which requires... See, I don't know. I have no idea where to put the mason thing that would make any kind of sense. So... I don't know, this is a little bit annoying to me, just how much it kind of obstructs the view when you drag it out. I mean, I know it kind of disappears relatively quickly, but so something sort of annoying about that to me. Just within the theme of the cards kind of obstructing things, I guess. Provides food. So we have food. That's another resource, apparently. Food seems to be a thing, and I don't see that in the UI, so that would be nice to see. Repairs the 2 oldest network stone structures. So this shows a little house icon, which is, I guess, the house that belongs to this. Yeah, so I don't understand how the repairing works. I don't know what this number means. I don't really see a pattern to it. Unless it's something to do with the decay. Like if I repair this, will that number go away? It seems strange to have a sort of similar information in 2 places, I guess. Yeah, so I think if a structure is being repaired by another structure, it might be nice if, like, in this window here, if I click on this tower, it might be nice to list in the tower, like is automatically repaired by X or whatever. That might help make it a little clearer what exactly is going on here, like what is being repaired by what, so I can click on this and it might say like repaired by the house or whatever. I'm not really sure how that works. It's confusing. Keeps the forest out. Oh. Build on dirt. Unlocked by building a mason. So apparently the hungry forest, we have reason to keep it out. Interesting. So does this actually grow or does something come out of it? I haven't noticed it growing, but I can kind of guess that it might, I guess. So we need stone for this. Yeah, so I have no idea like how this is set up, if this is sustaining itself or not. Quite confusing. Should I don't know where to put the wall either. Like, can I just put it all the way up here? I don't know if I want to even. I think I just want to keep getting stone. I don't notice the forest moving so far. What do we have now? Just the same things. So I think the hourglass and the decay are related. That seems to be the case. Again, that's weird to me, but I think when it gets repaired, this goes down to 0. And I think that the house is not being repaired. So again, I don't know what networked means. I can kind of assume that maybe these structures can be put together in a way that they can all sustain each other, and maybe that's the whole idea here. But it's just not really obvious. Maybe if I put that over here, or does it need to be directly adjacent to that? I don't know what networked means. Should I put the mason between the house and this? Would that work? I don't know. Maybe I should like. Doesn't appear to be a way to actually. Oop. So I hit escape, and unfortunately it went out of full screen. So I guess, unfortunately, because this is embedded in the game page, in order to get the pause menu, I have to actually click up here. Looks like I can reload. I think I'm just gonna try to redo this a different way. So we want to build, I guess, a garden. Wait. I guess I'll do it like this. Let's see how the garden looks normal now. That's nice. We want to build a foundation for the house. Want to build a foundation for the mason. Oh, I ran out of stone. Shoot, I shouldn't have done that, I guess. Well, I guess I can still do this. And we've got masons here, so now the mason is... Okay, it repairs the 2 oldest network stone structures, so it only shows a repair icon over this, so I don't know that it's... repairing the house. So I guess we have to build a wall and see if something else pops up. I feel like something else was here before. That's weird. What else was it? Wait. Right. I don't think the forest has like grown outward or anything. So I guess we'll just put this along the water. Oh, what am I doing? That needs to be built on dirt. Okay. So... I decay and 4 to ruins, but I think this will repair it. That doesn't decay. That's interesting. So I think if I repair the house, everything else will be taken care of. It already has a 1 though, I wonder. I don't know. So now we have what? Oh, I think the house disappeared. That's why there's another card here. I don't know why the house disappears at some point and then comes back. I actually have no idea what the idea behind that is. So we got 2 stone. I can make some dirt and build this. This is kind of getting in the way. It's mildly annoying to have to click on that little X there, I guess. So yeah, what else do we do? I can use repair again. So I don't know, is this not... This mason isn't being repaired. Okay, so the house repairs the oldest neighbor structure, but it's supposed to only repair one thing, right? Oh, the wall is probably a stone structure that can be repaired by decay in one. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, I guess the mason is meant to to take care of the walls here. Okay, this is also interesting. So you have this system where when you click on a tile to select the structure there, it has these little icons that pop up on the other things to show how this selected structure is affecting the other ones. But you also have this pop-up window thing. So like for instance, right now I can't see the wall up here. So if there's any possibility of like selecting something that might affect something a little further away, then I guess that wouldn't be visible. I'm not sure, maybe the game is just made in a way so that only directly adjacent tiles are affected by structures. I'm not really sure. A lot of stuff I don't really understand here, so I guess presumably the mason is supposed to be somewhere around the walls here, but yeah, I actually really don't have any idea how to complete this mission because I don't know how the things work. um, so I'm thinking maybe I need more houses, maybe more masons. Also, the garden provides food. The house requires a garden, right? Needs an okay, needs a neighboring garden. So that information's only down here. It's not up here for some reason. Okay. um, my assumption is the fact that the house repairs the oldest neighbor structure. Well, I don't know. I mean, when I first built this, it's like my assumption is the house is going to repair the garden it's attached to, which is kind of important. But like if I say like I tried to build another house right next to it, right here with a garden, presumably the house wouldn't repair the garden then because there would be like this house would be an older structure, for example. Um, so that makes me wonder, like, okay, well, how do I how do I make sure the garden is taken care of because it decays so rapidly? That's really confusing to me. I don't really understand what the intended methodology is here for making this actually work. It's really a little bit beyond me, unfortunately. So I guess if I do... I don't know, because of the fact that I can't... I guess I can cut one of these because I need stone, but the fact that the dirt grows to grass and just the passage of one day is a little bit annoying because there's a lot of these cases where it's like I can only do one action and I can't do that action because it'll just be undone. So I have to like try to come up with something else to spend that action on. It feels a little weird. I wonder if you might want to make it so that the grass would, or the dirt would like decay. I guess it decays into grass or something. That it would do that in the space of like 2 days instead of one. I wonder if that might just feel better there. So yeah, I'm a little bit not. Oh, I have to build the foundation and then I can build the house. So the wall I built decayed. Presumably because it wasn't close enough to a mason, or I didn't like manually repair it, I guess. So this is going to repair the garden, which I kind of tried to space away from this so that it would, but I actually don't understand what the wall is for. Because I haven't seen the forest actually do anything, so I don't have enough stone, gosh darn it. Also, we just ran out of stone, so that's interesting. I think I can demolish... Oh, So if I demolish a structure, it doesn't suggest in the text here that I'll get any resources out of it. Which should be good to know, right? Because that's kind of what you expect from this sort of thing, I think. So I don't know. My idea was like to build more masons so I could build more walls. But then I'm like, what are the walls even doing? I actually have no idea, unfortunately. And if anything really needs to be repaired, I guess this thing really needs to be repaired. I don't really see a way to know that unless I like go through and systematically click on every one of these and like look at all the stuff here. So I almost wonder if you might want to add some kind of visual indication of decay that's a lot more obvious. That doesn't require you to just like go through and click on everything. I mean, what do I do here? I need to... I wanted to build these. I guess this isn't going to break immediately. There's the wall. Oh, okay, so something repaired this. This is going to decay to ruins in 0. I don't think anything is repairing the house. So I'm going to want to repair that. So yeah, it's not really obvious like whether something is repairing a given structure or not. And like I said before, it's not really obvious what needs to be repaired at any given moment. Stuff like that, so pretty confusing. I don't have any more stone to work with. I don't think I can destroy a structure to get any resources back. So yeah, I don't know. Let me think about this for a moment, because I don't think I can actually meaningfully do any more building except for gardens. In theory, I could just keep building more and more gardens, but they're just gonna decay. So yeah, so we've got 2 different structures that have the ability to repair other structures. The thing is, the house only repairs 1. Okay, I think I just realized something. Alright, so it says the oldest neighbor structure. What I think might be the idea is that what the developer is calling old is actually like the state of disrepair that the thing is in. So talking about this decay, or this number up here, I'm thinking maybe what they mean by the oldest neighbor structure is like the one that hasn't been repaired in the longest amount of time. I think that's what that means. So given that, that would suggest that, based on the wording here, although the house can only repair 1 other structure per day, that would also suggest that the house could repair different, like more than 1 structure just on different days. So that's like really important to know if I'm correct about this. So that would kind of make these icons make sense, why there's more than 1 of them, for instance. So yeah, 1 house could repair like a whole bunch of different neighbor structures, just like each on a separate day. Okay, that would make sense. And then, oh, I don't remember seeing this max depth before. Oh, interesting. Wait. Oh, so if you click, okay, there's some areas where you can click on the tiles where it won't really select them. I'm not really sure what the deal is here. Okay, I think you could probably hear me clicking in the through my microphone here, but I'm not really sure why. Well, that was already selected, but sometimes it doesn't really register that. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Maybe a little bit of a bug. It's kind of elusive. In any case, yeah, so this two oldest stone structures. So I'm assuming that the stone structures are the wall and this. Again, it'd be nice to have a clear indication. I don't know if a mason... Maybe the mason is a stone structure too. I mean, it looks like it's made out of wood. But like the ground around it is stone, so I don't know. It's really not... Or like I said before, maybe it's just whatever structure takes stone for the resource. All right, let's go ahead and what do we do here? We're gonna reload. I think I figured out more, so hopefully we can make more sense of this. So I think, actually, I think I could probably just spend the first few turns just cutting all these rocks, right? I don't think that actually matters. I'm gonna do one and then use the other 2 turns to build. Wait. Build a garden here, I guess. Then we can do the house, which took care of the garden, and then I think it'll take care of the keep the next day that goes by, assuming I interpreted this correctly finally. Networked stone structures, max depth 10. So maybe networked is just any connected, like if I have all the structures connected to one another, maybe the mason considers all of them networked, but then the max depth would be like the number of tiles you move away from the position that the mason is in. That's what I'm guessing. Alright, what do we... So yeah, how are we going to set this up? This should be able to repair either of these. This should be able to repair, I guess it's 2 per turn, which is helpful. So I think if I just build that next to the house here... Wait, will that repair the house? I think before... I noticed the house wasn't getting repaired by anything. Well, we're going to find out. So we got 3 turns. Let's go ahead and do right here. We're going to build a foundation now. Unfortunately, this is kind of blocking this tile, so I can't really see it effectively. So that's kind of interesting, but... Alright, so this... Okay. So, yeah, so this is what I noticed before. So this shows the repair icon on all these because they're adjacent. I think neighbor means directly adjacent. The mason, however, shows just this home icon on the house, which is showing that it's claiming this house, apparently. But it doesn't show the repair icon on the house, so I can probably assume that it's not going to repair the house. So that makes me... Oh, wait. I'm assuming neighbor structures aren't diagonal. I realized just now I could have like more than one house on one garden, I guess. Right? But then what I need is for self-sustaining to be achieved is for the houses to be, or something to repair the houses automatically. Okay. So if I just put the houses next to each other with a garden, they should be able to repair each other because of the way that I figured out before that they work. So I don't think I can build them diagonally from each other and it would still work. I'm guessing not. Can't know that without trying it, but I don't feel like going through all that right now. So I believe if I just simply do this, it didn't work. Why didn't it work? What's going on? I have the stone. Oh, it doesn't. Okay, I didn't build the garden yet. All right, well that'll last another day thing. Let's just harvest this. I don't know. And we could do this. Okay, so at this point, this will repair that garden and this house. This will repair any one of these, depending on which one has the most decay time or whatever. So I guess that this will be self-sustaining. I do have walls also. I could build one wall and the mason would repair it for me. I guess I could build several of them in theory because of what I assume the networked means. I think that the walls would count as networked together as long as I don't build too far away. I mean, given that the description here seems necessary, I just haven't seen anything actually happen from the forest. So I think what you want to do is at the very least demonstrate something happening with the forest so that the player has some kind of understanding of what the importance of this is, because I don't understand what the forest is actually going to do that would require the walls. But I think this is self-sustaining apart from whatever the forest threatens to do to me right now. What I could do is I could build... I think I could just build more houses around the gardens here, just to make them... Well, I have 4. I only have 4 stone left, so I guess I could build 4 walls. But in theory, it would, like, the houses could repair the gardens, and then these houses could repair other things. I don't think it's necessary, but I'm just trying to consider what's actually possible here. So I guess I'm just going to try and build some walls at this point. Then what? I guess I'll just fix that. I don't know. See, it's a bit annoying when you have this kind of action that only takes 2, and you just have this leftover one that, again, I can't do anything because if I do this... Oh, wait, that didn't decay to grass. Wait. Grass is already beginning to grow in it. Add meadow neighbors. 1 arrow. Decay in 0 to meadow. What is this? Add meadow neighbors. Alright, I have no idea what that means, but yeah, I actually thought from previous experience that maybe I just goofed, but I was thinking all this time that if I built the dirt, that it, like, as soon as the day flipped over, it was going to immediately go back into meadow. But this time it didn't, so I guess I just made a mistake in that assumption before. I'm not sure what happened there that misled me so, or if it worked differently before or whatever, but I guess here we are. So, oh, we can't Now we can't build any more walls. I don't understand why sometimes some of these cards just disappear. I don't see what's going on there. But I guess I just sleep. Again, I have to like systematically click through all these to make sure that, to see what thing is. Oh, that's a. I was wondering why is that an 8? Clicked on the wrong thing. I guess in order to determine. So this hasn't been repaired. Shouldn't this house be repairing this house? Because it's 4. This is now 3. And what did it end up repairing? Okay, another thing I'm wondering is, like, for instance, the house can repair the keep here. But so can the mason. So what is the order? There's not really any indication of what order in which these things might happen, so that could actually be significant. So like if I want the mason to repair the keep so that the house could repair this house, for example. Excuse me, I'm not sure what order in which these things are ending up happening, or if because of the fact that this specifically repairs stone structures, it kind of makes this significant, right? Because the house can repair any structure, and this can only repair stone structures, so probably I want this to be the priority for repairing the stone structures such that the house can repair the other things that this can't, right? So I don't know how the game is prioritizing that in order to know if this is working properly or not. Now there might have been ways I could build this differently that would circumvent that issue, which is maybe what I should have done, I guess. But that's not where I am right now, so I don't know how that works. I don't know if there's a way to to deal with that potential issue. That would be something I think would be pretty significant to pay attention to. Now, I was just going to build another wall right here just for the sake of exhausting my resources, I guess, but I'm not sure if this is going to work or not, actually. Let's go ahead and... actually, you know what? It's starting to seem like less of a good idea because of the fact that what I just said, I wanted to make sure that the keep was being repaired by the mason. And I'm not sure if building more walls would actually affect that or not. Anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and sleep. I think these two repaired each other. Alright, looks good. This is... Alright, everything looks fine. I think I'm just supposed to, like... Decayed. So why is stuff showing... Oh, okay. Okay, the forest is growing. I'm pretty sure I can see that the forest is growing now. Now, the thing is, it was really not obvious to me at all. I think in particular because this little window is just kind of always hanging out up here when you have something selected. I think it's just kind of covering up stuff. So I think you want to make it more dramatic and obvious when the forest is growing. Maybe you want an animation. Naturally, this kind of looks like, you know, placeholder graphics and everything. This is in development, but I just to kind of get the point across, I think this sort of visual feedback is very important when important things are happening. You want to really hit the player in the face with it so that they pay attention to it, right? Because if something just kind of instantly appears, it's so easy to miss. And yeah, this little window obstructing things and stuff like that is a little bit problematic in my opinion. You might even... I do wonder, like, I don't know how much bigger this will get, but like, if something is off the screen that's happening that ends up being important, that could be kind of bad if you just don't see it. I don't know what you could do about that apart from, like, you could have the camera kind of zoom around a bit to show, like, when things are happening, like, zoom over here and show, like, a little animation, and, like, zoom over here and show a little animation. Obviously, that could take a long time if you do that for, like, everything in the game, but I don't know if maybe that would become necessary at some point. For right now, I think we're just supposed to survive for like 20 turns. I don't think I need to do anything to... I'm pretty sure that that's going to get repaired by the house. I hope. Alright, everything seems fine. Yeah, it's annoying to like just keep like clicking through everything to try and like see what the numbers are and stuff. But yeah, so the forest is growing. Apparently it's not growing across the river, so maybe that was just never an issue in the first place. Which kind of makes sense. I mean, if that's the case, but again, like I had no way of knowing that. I guess I can sort of discern that that's the case from what's happening here. And I guess that sort of acts as a way to introduce the behavior of the forest to the player, but yeah, it's all a little bit... Add forest neighbors 1, decay and -6 to forest. I'm assuming that's a bug. The -6 part. I don't know what the add forest neighbors thing is doing. So I noticed that before, like add with the dirt patch was like add meadow neighbors. I don't know. So I think I just click on this a couple more times. Forest is indeed not crossing the little stream here. Okay. Took 30 days, 27 actions. All right. So, yeah, that was very confusing, but I think I figured it out ultimately. I assume that this forest is not going to expand from that point. What? I didn't even read this. Okay, not much building material here. We'll have to make do, survive a 10-day streak without taking any actions. All right. Sort of the same as before. And I guess what survive means is to allow the keep to not decay into ruins. I think. So that was never really explained at any point. That would probably be a good idea to do that. There's a mirror. Each side of the mirror sees its own reflection. Redirects to watcher. I have no idea what a watcher is or what redirects means. Let me check how long I've been playing. I know I've been talking an awful lot. Excuse me. Right, so we already hit an hour. I'm sorry, we're just now getting to what I assume is like an important part of the game, so I'll keep playing for a little bit. I don't know what that means. We have one thing of stone, we've got the keep, and each side of the mirror sees its own reflection. So presumably you build something around the mirror and something happens with the reflection here. Now I've noticed, I think the keep looks a little different. This looks like... I'm I'm not sure. There's some... Something about the assets, like sometimes they turn into like a lower quality version. I don't know if you had like a placeholder version of the asset that's still in the game or something, and sometimes it renders that instead. I don't know if that's what's happening or what, but it's a little funny. I have no idea like how to start putting these together. I'll try putting a house here, I guess, again. Which means we can put a garden here. Yeah, so the garden looks funny again. Now if I do this... Alright, no, it's still here. I guess I completely goofed when I decided that this would immediately turn back into grass. I don't know why. I'd have to, after this, I'll have to like go back and watch the video again to see what happened before that made me believe that. Okay, so add meadow neighbors. 1. Don't know. Let's go ahead and build the foundation. Oh wait, I don't have the... Alright, foundation, the house. So another thing that might be nice is to have some kind of indication of whether you can afford something or not. So for instance, currently I have to like look up here to check this number, and I keep kind of not doing that. As you can see, I keep not realizing that I don't have enough of the stone. And so what you could do is you could have like you could just like make this turn red even right here, just to indicate that I don't have enough of the thing. And then of course, like if there's more resources in the future, that would probably be even more important. So something has like 3 different resource types it requires, and you don't have enough of one of them, then you might just like make that red or something, just to make it clear that you can't currently buy this thing. That would be nice, in my opinion. So okay, I built a house next to the mirror and I see nothing happening. I still don't know what redirects to watcher means. Fun little wind chime sounds. Pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know what... Like, it occurred to me, maybe for some reason I should build a house on both sides of it, or... But... doesn't really seem necessary. I don't know... Oh, wait a minute. Huh. Okay, so when I click on the house, I'm noticing the repair icon is over the house itself. So that would seem to suggest that the mirror is, like, instead of the house repairing the mirror, it's kind of reflecting that effect back onto the house, which is, in some sense it's intuitive, but not obvious, I guess, is the way I would put it. So yeah, that's not really easy to figure out, I don't think, but I think that's how that works, which is really interesting. So that makes me wonder again about like the mason. I don't even know if the mason itself is a stone structure or not, because it's not indicated what things are actually stone. Maybe the foundation is a stone structure. I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know if a mason would repair itself or not. I had to guess, I'd say no, but I don't really... I'm not confident of that. So the house can now repair itself, which means that this is self-sustaining, which... Okay, well, I guess that's important because I don't have any more rocks, so I guess that just kind of happened upon the solution. But yeah, I mean, you can kind of get the idea that the level is trying to teach the way that this works to the player, except it doesn't... I mean, yeah, I get the idea that if you don't give the player more things they can do, then they can kind of happen upon the realization of how this works, sort of like I apparently have, but I think it's just overly confusing. I don't think it's as obvious as the developer might think it is. I mean, obviously, so far in this playtest, there have been a number of things that I've been really confused about, but there's also been a number of things that I've been able to sort of discern eventually through just messing around with the game. And I get the impression that the developer hopes the player will learn everything they need to learn through messing around with the game and making logical deductions and such, which is sort of okay, but I don't think it's good enough to rely on that, and I would not expect that everyone who tries to play this would even figure out all the things that I figured out. I'm not saying that I'm smarter than everyone else or anything like that. It's not the case at all. But there's always going to be things that you can't really anticipate, that the player isn't going to. It's just not going to click in their heads. It's not even necessarily about intelligence or anything. You could have someone really smart and they would just never quite realize something important about the game, you know. Um, it could just be one particular thing that just doesn't click for them or whatever, and that could just kind of ruin the experience for that person. So of course, the way to prevent that stuff, because you can't expect the experience to be the same for everyone, everyone's brains works a little bit differently. And so the way to prevent that is just to I'm sorry, stuttering here, just to tell the player what they need to know. Just make it explicit. Just this isn't the kind of thing that would take a lot of time to explain. In my opinion, I don't think these are complicated things. They're just kind of hidden. So it's just like just put it on the screen and let the player kind of get the learning part over with, so that they can actually play the game properly. I would suggest to go that route instead. Hopefully that makes sense. But I think I can just like okay, I can continue doing this. All right. Something odd by the water survived a 20-day streak without taking any actions. Oh. So it got weird sounds. Creepy sounds. I don't know what those sounds are. The reflected opposite bank shimmers in the fluid. So opposite bank. So I'm assuming like the thing, like if there was something here, that it would like kind of bounce off of this and then hit this with whatever effects it has, I guess. But how do we do anything with that in this case where there's water around this, if I'm interpreting that correctly? Because the only other place you could build is right here, and that's just going to reflect over to here. I don't understand. This clearly says can't be built on or crossed. Oh, redirects to keep at F4. Okay, so this is kind of information that I want to see more of, right? So I didn't... Alright, so I didn't understand that before, the redirects thing. Yeah, the terminology is not really consistent here. So for instance, we have like reflected is always used in talking about the mirror things. Then this is redirect, which is of course a different word from reflect. But yeah, I can kind of discern what this means now, and that makes it clear what it meant before on the last level, but I didn't understand it then, what it meant when it said redirects. Wait, that's quite weird. So before it was when I clicked on the mirror itself, it said where it was redirecting to, but now it's when I click on what's adjacent to the mirror that it's saying what's redirecting to. So I'm not sure that even makes sense in terms of consistency between what the other type of mirror says. I wonder, is there a way to like go back to... Oh no, I'm not sure if I can... Oh wait, no, I think in the main menu there's levels. Alright, let's try prism, mason, walls. Wait, what? Oh no, okay, so I think... Wait a minute. Oh, okay, so I think this is just all of the levels and I just have them all unlocked. So I was trying to go like back one, but I think they just have all of these unlocked to start with, so I think... Oh, this is all different. What the heck? Main menu, levels, we've got sustain, stamp, cross, rocks, prism. Okay. we didn't get very far in this whole video. Redirects to watcher. Yeah, I have no idea what that means exactly. I don't know. It's always possible, you know, maybe the developer has English as a second language or something, you know, you never know, but this wording is very confusing to me. So I'm not sure if you understand what I'm saying here. Like before, on the level after this, if you click on the adjacent tile to the mirror, it's a different type of mirror, but if you click on the adjacent tile to the mirror, it tells what that redirects to. But with this one, it says it redirects if you click on the mirror itself. So that's not really consistent in what it's describing, if I'm not mistaken here. I should say the language isn't consistent. So it's not the fact that it works differently, because obviously the different mirrors work differently, but it's what thing is saying it's redirecting. I don't know how to say it in a clearer way than that, but hopefully you understand. If that's not making sense to you, please let me know, and I'll try to explain it better. But it's like the word redirect is belonging to a different thing, so it's not consistent in what it's describing. So I'm not sure. I think it's across. I don't know why it says something odd by the water, and then yeah, I don't understand how this works. Like I would think, like, so I could build something here. Like if I build a house here, then it'll repair this, but it's by the water, so why? Oh, ruins, nothing of value. Well, and the forest is going to be hungry, right? So decay in 11 to forest, and then this is being. You probably don't want this to be covered up by the stuff at the top here. I don't know. Maybe you do. I don't know. That's mildly annoying, but yeah, I have no idea what to do with this. This doesn't make sense to me currently. I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea what this pool is supposed to be useful for in this particular position. It's very odd to me. But we're just supposed to survive 20. Which I think seems pretty reasonable. I can just put 2 walls here, right? And then the forest won't get me. I just don't know why the pool is here. Like, am I just supposed to ignore this and then do everything else that just doesn't involve the mirror pool thing here? It just seems so strange to have it in here, but it not be useful for anything, with it being the first time I've seen it. In any case, I should probably wrap up this video. It's been long enough, but I know I talked a lot and didn't play as much, but I think there's just a number of stuff that's quite confusing here that could probably be made a lot clearer to the player, and particularly some of the language I think is a big problem. In addition to the fact that stuff isn't really made explicitly, you don't really bother to explain most of the mechanics, right? So again, that could be just because it's not the fact that it's a game in development. Maybe the developer hasn't bothered to put together the tutorial elements, which is perfectly understandable. But I did kind of get the impression that maybe you were trying to design it in a way that you didn't have to make like a tutorial, you didn't have to explain things, in which case I would encourage you to not go that route and you know, just explain the way the mechanics work in a clear way, and that would be a lot easier, I think, for the player and just less frustrating. And you know, the onboarding element is really important for games because you don't want the player to to feel annoyed while they're just figuring out the game, before they like start to enjoy it later, because people will just stop trying to play the game before they figure it out, you know, if they're not enjoying it right off the bat. So yeah, and in terms of the language, I think the biggest offender for me is this idea of the oldest neighbor structure that suggests something other than what it actually does. Because I was thinking it meant the one like in terms of the order in which these structures were built. So if I built like this would be the oldest structure of all because it existed at the start, and then like if I built the garden first, then that would be the second oldest structure, and then I built the house the third, and that would be the third oldest, and it would just, you know, that's what this means to me when I read this. So I think that you want to change the wording here a bit, and that'll make a big difference. But apart from that, I mean, this is interesting once you start to figure it out. Definitely feels more like a puzzle game that has sort of a I don't know what you call it, like a sim builder sort of aesthetic, but it's more puzzle in the actual way it unfolds, I guess. But yeah, so definitely interesting. It's got what's the word, potential, sorry. It definitely has potential, and yeah, the art style is nice and everything. I know some of this is placeholder, but it's pretty attractive, the other bits. And yeah, I think little animations here and there, if you can work those in at some point, it'll look really appealing. So yeah, hopefully this was useful for you. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video.